A mysterious image, reportedly leaked by the hacking collective Anonymous, has recently been shared to pages that investigate mysterious phenomena, sparking intense curiosity and debate across social media platforms. The image, which appears to show a massive, solid object hovering just above the moon's surface, has captivated the attention of researchers and enthusiasts worldwide. What makes the image particularly compelling is not just its clarity, but the sheer scale of the object and the shadow it casts on the lunar terrain. According to those who analyzed the photograph, the structure is miles in length, and its shadow strongly implies that it is suspended just above the surface, rather than being a natural formation on the moon itself. The object shown in the image has a distinct geometric form. Unlike irregular natural formations caused by meteor impacts or erosion, this structure appears symmetrical and intentional in design. Its shape and orientation do not match any known spacecraft or debris, and its positioning over the moon seems to defy conventional explanation. Many believe that the clarity of the shadow rules out simple camera anomalies or digital artifacts. In fact, the sharpness of the shadow has led observers to suggest that this object is not only massive, but that it is hovering at a relatively low altitude, close enough to the moon for its silhouette to appear stark and defined against the lunar surface. According to statements associated with the image's release, Anonymous claimed that this photograph was uncovered within an undisclosed archive, potentially overlooked or hidden from public view. Known for their past exposure of sensitive material, Anonymous has a history of revealing controversial content, lending further intrigue to this image's origin. Whether the photograph is genuinely part of a forgotten file or was captured and deliberately withheld remains unknown, but its surfacing has reignited widespread speculation about the moon's role in the mystery of unidentified aerial phenomena. Among the leading theories are that the object is an unidentified object, or even evidence of a non-human presence monitoring Earth. Although these ideas remain highly speculative, they are supported by decades of anecdotal reports about the moon being a hotspot for unexplained activity. This is not the first time that unusual objects have been reported near the moon. For years, both amateur astronomers and professional observers have reported seeing unexplained lights, objects, and structures near or on the lunar surface. Some astronauts have privately shared accounts of seeing flashes, strange patterns, or seemingly moving structures during their missions. Even earlier than that, astronomers using powerful telescopes in the 19th and 20th centuries noted transient lunar phenomena, brief, unexplained flashes of light or shadow formations that were never satisfactorily explained. Because of the moon's proximity to Earth and its lack of atmosphere, it provides an ideal canvas for observing anomalies. When a dark shape moves across a fully lit surface like the moon's, it becomes much easier to detect, especially in contrast with the surrounding terrain. That has led many to believe the moon may be monitored or utilized in ways not yet publicly known. Objects hovering above the surface or moving across the horizon without explanation continue to feed into a wider body of sightings and theories related to lunar activity. This recent image has reignited interest in UFOs close to the moon. With growing public interest and increasing transparency about unexplained aerial phenomena on Earth, many are now turning their eyes to space, questioning what else might be waiting to be discovered just beyond our planet. Skeptics argue that without official verification, the image cannot be used as proof of anything extraordinary. However, others argue that the sheer consistency of this image with decades of similar sightings and accounts lends it more credibility than a typical internet hoax. Moreover, the lack of a public statement from any space agency, either confirming or denying the authenticity of the photograph, adds an eerie silence to the story. The structure in this photograph is not easily dismissed. It does not appear to be a natural formation, nor does it match the shape or design of any known satellite or space probe. Its placement above the moon, rather than on it, is particularly strange, and its shadow suggests a level of mass and size that would be difficult to mistake. Whether this is a previously unknown man-made object, an experimental vehicle, or something entirely foreign remains to be seen. Oddly enough, as many researchers have pointed out, accounts of mysterious UFOs near the moon, and even on its surface, have continued to surface, often from some of the most credible witnesses imaginable, astronauts themselves. Several former NASA astronauts have spoken, sometimes cautiously, about encounters or anomalies they witnessed during space missions. Some described seeing unexplained lights or objects following their spacecraft, while others claimed to have observed strange structures on the moon's surface itself, features that did not appear to be naturally occurring. Though official records tend to remain vague or omit such details, these accounts continue to circulate within the UFO research community and have only added fuel to the idea that something unknown is monitoring the moon. One of the most commonly cited incidents comes from the Apollo missions. While much of the audio recorded during these missions was broadcast publicly, it is believed that certain communications were held over secure channels. In these alleged transmissions, some astronauts are said to have remarked on objects seen on or near the lunar surface, objects that appeared intelligently constructed or maneuvered in unnatural ways. Though these claims are difficult to verify due to the classified nature of mission logs, the consistency of these reports across multiple missions is difficult to ignore. Additionally, amateur astronomers have contributed their own observations over the years. Armed with increasingly powerful telescopes, many have reported seeing flickering lights, sudden movements, or brief shadows darting across the lunar surface. These sightings are often dismissed as optical illusions, equipment glitches, or satellite interference. However, some of these observers have recorded footage showing small objects that appear to move purposefully above the moon's horizon, sometimes even altering direction mid-flight, behavior not typical of known human-made satellites. Perhaps most intriguing are the reports of structures on the moon. While mainstream science typically explains unusual formations as tricks of light, shadow, or geological processes, others argue that some images suggest artificiality. Sharp geometric lines, dome-like constructions, and even what appear to be tower-like features have been identified in older lunar photographs. These formations, when analyzed closely, appear to deviate from what would be expected of naturally eroded rock or impact craters. Adding to this narrative are whistleblower accounts from former government and military personnel. A number of these individuals have come forward, claiming that they were privy to information suggesting that unknown crafts have been spotted entering and exiting craters on the moon. Some have even suggested that permanent facilities, hidden from public view, exist on the far side of the moon, where they remain shielded from both direct observation and Earth-based radar. As of now, no official space agency has claimed responsibility for the object, nor has any independent scientific body authenticated or debunked the image. The photograph remains in the realm of speculation, yet it continues to inspire intense debate and interest. For some, this could be another piece of the puzzle pointing to a larger mystery surrounding the moon and its relationship to unexplained aerial phenomena. For others, it is an opportunity to engage in deeper inquiry and push for greater transparency in how space activity is reported and archived. Regardless of what the object may turn out to be, this image serves as a powerful reminder of how little is still understood about the space just beyond our atmosphere. The moon, although extensively mapped and explored, continues to hold secrets that occasionally slip into public view, only to leave behind more questions than answers. In the case of this photograph, released by Anonymous and shared thousands of times online, one thing is certain: it has captured the imagination of people around the world and sparked a new wave of curiosity about what really lies above us. Whether a clue, a warning, or simply a mystery waiting to be solved, the miles-long object above the moon stands as one of the most captivating unexplained images of recent years. Comet Leonard's visibility is diminishing, but it is not leaving without a final spectacle. Recently, it reached its closest point to Earth on December 12th, providing excellent opportunities for observation. As the comet progresses through the inner solar system, a remarkable change has occurred. The comet's tail now exhibits a twisted, streamer-like appearance, while its core continues to grow brighter. However, during the event, NASA captured an intriguing image of an unusual occurrence between Earth and Venus. Online spectators who witnessed the event reported the emergence of a substantial shield-like object during Comet Leonard's closest approach. The camera named Stereo H2 captured this footage, and it is evident that a significant structure emerges between Earth and Venus. Positioned on the left side of the screen, Venus is accompanied by Earth on the right. As Comet Leonard made its way near Earth, an intriguing development occurred. a remarkable construction seemingly arose, resembling a massive structure enveloping our planet. This structure even obstructed some of the comet's tail from reaching Earth, garnering noteworthy attention and speculation. The peculiarity of this video lies in the sudden appearance of a shield-shaped object when Comet Leonard becomes visible. Some speculate that this object serves as a form of protection for Earth, shielding it from the comet or any potential space debris. It is worth noting that this is not the first instance where the stereo camera has detected this mysterious object. In March 2020, while observing the Lagoon Nebula alongside Venus and Earth, an intriguing image was captured. The shared photographs generated considerable excitement, with individuals noting the resemblance of the object to a massive wheel. Furthermore, it seemed to emit a beam in front of it, prompting speculation that it could be a form of protection against space debris aimed at safeguarding our planet. The video captured by the Stereo B spacecraft's telescope, which is operated by NASA, is intriguing due to its direct source. These probes are positioned on opposite sides of the Sun, aiding NASA and other scientists in studying the inner mechanisms of the solar system. They are particularly valuable for observing celestial objects that pass near Earth. As mentioned, this enigmatic triangular entity has approached us on previous occasions. A knowledgeable and neutral audience will find it informative to learn that someone mentioned the sighting of a wheel that resembled the provided image, but NASA dismissed it as unremarkable. What stands out is that the wheel only becomes visible when the comet aligns with Earth. This individual expressed their viewpoint, stating the following: "These images and videos were sourced directly from NASA, leaving no room for doubt regarding their origin. I am completely clueless as to the identity and the process by which this object takes shape. However, NASA have told people that the object in question can be explained, saying that what we are seeing is just a recurring image artifact caused by internal reflections of a planet. They addressed this footage and said the following on Stereo's official website. Some people have noticed a strange triangular or diamond-shaped object entering the field of view of the telescope on Stereo. You can see the feature in question in this movie, moving from right to left, just above the occulter on the right side of the image, and more clearly in this close-up movie. The answer for what this artifact is lies on the exact opposite side of the image. At the same time as this strange-looking feature starts being visible, the very bright planet Venus enters the field of view from the lower left. Notice that Venus and the feature stay in step almost exactly opposite each other across the middle of the detector. This is not a coincidence. The strange-looking geometrical object is actually an internal reflection of the planet Venus within the telescope optics. This effect has been seen many times before. The phenomenon of unidentified objects has been a subject of intrigue for both scientists and the general public. An especially curious subset of these sightings is the one that involves mysterious objects seen near our Sun. These instances, often captured in photographs and videos by solar observatories and space-based telescopes, challenge our understanding and provoke fascinating questions about the nature of these objects. The Sun, due to its extreme conditions and proximity to Earth, is an area of keen interest for astronomers. Solar observations have been conducted using various tools, such as NASA's Solar Dynamics Observatory, the Solar and Heliospheric Observatory, and numerous ground-based observatories. During these observations, anomalies occasionally appear. These oddities, often interpreted as unidentified objects by some observers, exhibit unusual characteristics, such as abrupt changes in direction, speed, or even shape. Some of these sightings have suggested massive objects, far larger than any man-made spacecraft, seemingly maneuvering close to the Sun's surface. The implications of an artificial object able to withstand and navigate the Sun's extreme environment, with temperatures reaching millions of degrees and intense gravitational and magnetic forces, are both bewildering and revolutionary, signifying a technological prowess far beyond our current capabilities. However, while these sightings are undeniably intriguing, they also invite skepticism and alternate explanations. Scientists often attribute such anomalies to instrumental artifacts, optical illusions, or natural celestial phenomena. For instance, a common artifact in space imaging is the cosmic ray hit, where high-energy particles interfere with the image sensor to produce bright spots or streaks. Other explanations include the remnants of comets or meteoroids, solar prominences, or coronal mass ejections, all of which can create unusual and dramatic patterns in the solar vicinity. These rational explanations underscore the importance of adhering to scientific methodologies when investigating these sightings. Nevertheless, the continued presence of unexplained anomalies in our solar observations indicates that our understanding of the universe is still far from complete. Each unexplained sighting, whether eventually debunked or left unresolved, contributes to our growing knowledge base and inspires further exploration and inquiry. As the search for advanced intelligence continues, these mysterious sightings highlight an essential aspect of the endeavor. The universe is vast and largely unexplored, teeming with mysteries that we are only beginning to probe. Whether these mysterious objects turn out to be advanced spacecrafts, natural phenomena, or simply glitches in our instruments, their investigation pushes the boundaries of our understanding and brings us one step closer to answering the age-old question, are we alone in the universe?
NASA finds massive gravity anomaly buried under Antarctica. NASA's satellites have noticed a gravity anomaly sitting within a 300-mile wide crater buried deep underneath Antarctica's ice, seemingly consistent with the giant asteroid. Impact that caused the Permian-Triassic extinction roughly 250 million years ago. The asteroid triggered a mass extinction that lasted nearly 2 million years, starting volcanic flows and hotspots. This crater is estimated to be almost 3 times the Chicxulub crater's size, which is the asteroid impact that killed off the dinosaurs. Scientists believe that this crater was formed even before East Antarctica's coastal Cretaceous formation. NASA and the German Aerospace Center ran a 15-year-long mission to measure gravity anomalies throughout the planet and discover how its mass is distributed and changes over time. The joint mission was called the Gravity Recovery and Climate Experiment, or GRACE, and ran from March 2002 to October 2017. They sent satellites that would detect any subtle shifts in the Earth's magnetic and gravity fields. Gravitational force is affected by mass, so any changes indicate a redistribution of mass, something large enough to alter it. GRACE sent 2 satellites into orbit at the same altitudes, one trailing the other, and circled the poles about 15 times every day. In 2006, a group of researchers examined data from these satellites when they noticed an anomaly below Antarctica's ice. Using GRACE's records, they determined that the anomaly was due to a massive crater that had been buried for millions of years, most likely from an asteroid impact. The discovery has instigated a flurry of theories, with the most popular being the existence of 1930s and 1940s German bases. Theorists claim that Germany built secret hideouts in the continent during that time, evidenced by the multiple entrances that exist around Antarctica. They argue that the Germans were building UFOs because the entrance's size required you to fly in a saucer-shaped vessel. In 1991, the KGB revealed classified documents from the US Navy's Operation Highjump, which proved they had sent numerous missions to the Antarctic during the 1970s. The theorists say that although the Navy claimed they were only researching the continent, they were there to investigate an entrance that supposedly led to the inner Earth. Thousands of sailors and crew were dispatched over the years, allowing rumors of UFO bases, German hideouts, and portals to the underworld to grow. Scientists, though, argue that the mysterious anomaly is an impact crater. The massive Wilkes Land gravity anomaly is about 151 miles wide and reaches a minimum depth of 2,700 feet. Researchers believe that a giant asteroid could have impacted the Antarctic and initiated the Permian-Triassic extinction, which was the largest extinction of life in Earth's history. It killed 96% of all sea creatures and about 70% of the land-dwelling vertebrate organisms, much more catastrophic than what killed the dinosaurs. The collision would have caused drastic climate changes and created a challenging environment to live in, resulting in many species to have lost their lives. Since the crater is covered by miles of thick glacial ice, researchers have not been able to test it or pull samples properly. They have only been able to quickly inspect it based on its magnetic and gravitational anomalies. Scientists have no accurate way to figure out what is buried deep within Antarctica's ice, so it will remain a mystery until they do. HD 164595. HD 164595 is a star in the Hercules constellation that is strikingly similar to our Sun. The two stars are both classified as Class G stars due to their size and characteristics, and while our Sun obviously has numerous planets orbiting in its fiery gravitational pull, it appears that HD 164595 only has one planet, which makes a complete orbit every 40 days. Any time that a star and planet combination appear to resemble the characteristics of our own, a scientific organization known as SETI, or the Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, carefully observes it as a possible location of life beyond our solar system. And while stars of this nature and their respective planets generally just continue as they always have without giving SETI much to go on, HD 164595 is a little different. The star made headlines and raised the proverbial antennae of alien life watchers in 2016, when a very strong signal was detected coming from that region. The signal, which travelled the 94 light-years between the Earth and the star, was still incredibly strong when it reached a Russian telescope trained on the star. An international team of researchers and astronomers immediately banded together to study the star further and attempt to determine what could have caused the signal and if it could mean that the planet-star duo housed extraterrestrial life forms. Douglas Vakoch, an astronomer who is heavily involved in the study of the potential for alien life, said in an interview with CNN that the signal from HD 164595 is intriguing because it comes from the vicinity of a sun-like star, and if it's artificial, its strength is great enough that it was clearly made by a civilization with capabilities beyond those of humankind. While it is hard to imagine a civilization that is dozens and dozens of times more advanced than we are, the truth is that it's highly likely that this could be the case, as our own technologies would not be able to generate a signal of the strength seen emanating from HD 164595. However, researchers do wonder if it is indeed a signal generated by alien life forms. Why would they be targeting our solar system? Some suggest that we might be just as much of a mystery to them as they are to us. Since our own signals would not reach them, it is possible that they do not know we are even here in the first place. And while the implications of the signal being artificial are huge, experts and SETI researchers do admit that the chances of this being a call from aliens is very slim. Without corroboration from an independent observatory, a putative signal from extraterrestrials doesn't have a lot of credibility, admitted Vakoch. The greatest limitation is that it hasn't been replicated. Before we can give any credence to a signal as coming from extraterrestrials, we need to see it repeatedly to make sure it wasn't just a transient phenomenon. And while the SETI researchers hold out hope that the signal comes again, or the alien life forms reach out or signal in another way, the unsettling fact is that our own technologies are not advanced enough to answer the question of extraterrestrial life once and for all. If aliens do exist somewhere out there, then they are going to have to come to us. And if the signal truly was just a fluke, never to be repeated, it will likely go into the records as just another inexplicable element of space creating one more unsolved mystery. NASA space probes discover man-made barrier surrounding Earth. Humankind accidentally protected itself from possibly dangerous cosmic events. An artificial barrier, or bubble as some call it, was found surrounding the Earth. This barrier not only affects weather events in space, but also protects us from dangerous cosmic weather. Human impact on Earth is undeniable, but now we know our technology significantly impacts our outer atmosphere and beyond. As it turns out, the bubble was created by the interaction of man-made technology and space. More specifically, the interaction between high-energy radiation particles in space and man-made radio communications from Earth. The radio waves in question are typically used to communicate with submarines under the ocean's surface and are frequently used in science, engineering, and military operations. As these waves work to reach their destination, they can end up reaching out beyond Earth's atmosphere and interacting with external radiation particles in space. Dan Baker from the University of Colorado Laboratory for Atmospheric and Space Physics calls the bubble an impenetrable barrier. This artificial barrier protects Earth from possible dangers like solar flares or coronal mass ejections. All these phenomena can lead to radiation particles entering the atmosphere, which could interrupt our electrical grids and radio wave communications. So how was the barrier discovered? In 2012, a mission was launched with the sole purpose of studying the Van Allen radiation belts. 5 years later, in 2017, scientists were surprised to instead find a low-frequency barrier that stopped dangerous solar discharges from impacting Earth. The barrier, or bubble, also happens to line up with the inner edge of the Van Allen belts. This information has scientists suspecting that the radio waves used in submarine communications, VLF waves, repel radiation particles. If we stopped using VLF waves, the radiation belts would move much closer to Earth's atmosphere. Right now, the radiation belts are further away from Earth than they were in 1960. Scientists have been discussing how this finding shows our impact on space. We have, without a doubt, made an impact on the Earth, but this barrier may be one of the best things that we have done for our planet.